what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. Thanks. What brings you into Denver?
Yeah, so for me personally, I'm out here with Blockchain at UCI. We're a collegiate organization. So we're a bunch of students. We brought 10 of our students out here. Some of us are builders, others are hackers, and we're kind of just going around, trying to understand what's the next thing in the industry, kind of, also working professionally, and pretty much also pitching our startups and stuff like that to VCs and stuff. So a little mix of everything, but mostly education and building cool shit.
That is awesome. Are you involved in any projects right now?
Yeah, so right now I'm actually building out Inertia, so got a little sticker up here.
Okay.
But Inertia.social is essentially a prediction market and community combined in one. So you can pretty much create your own market on anything, bet on any outcome of any event, and share them with your communities and stuff. So still super early stage. We've just started building it out about 2 months ago, but that's kind of the primary reason I'm here, aside from obviously the ongoing education.
Have you been here before?
Yeah, I've been here this is my third year attending. I've attended since I was a freshman in college, so it's been a little bit, yeah.
Have you, so do you do programming then? Is that what you specifically do, or what do you do?
Yeah, so my role is the CTO, so typically I handle most of the Web3 development side of things, so all the smart contracts, all the subgraph stuff, and then we have our CIO who kind of embeds and works with the Web2 side of things, and then our CEO handles biz dev and alongside with me as well.
Yeah, what inspired you to do what you're doing?
Good question. We specifically, we're all DJs here. So when me and my friends, we would bet on kind of all these other prediction markets, we saw that there was two big blockers. Blocker number one was you really couldn't create markets that you kind of cared about, and blocker number two was, we liked just conversing about these markets and all this sort of like stuff with all of our friends, etc. And there wasn't really a community where we kind of post this sort of stuff out to. So we said, all right, well, we see a problem here. We talked to a bunch of other people, and they kind of found the same problem and said, screw it, we'll go ahead and just make it on our own.
So like from a younger age, What do you think really truly inspired you to get into what you're doing specifically? The first thing you could like think of that you're like, man, I love this.
So I would like to think I've had a decent entrepreneurial journey growing up. So when I was younger, I would do little things, just side hustles and stuff. And then as I grew older, I joined this program called Junior Achievement. Junior Achievement essentially they throw you and a bunch of other kids into a room. You have a company sponsor who kind of mentors you. Ours was Workday, and they literally tell you just make a company. So we built these reusable silicone food bags, and that kind of kicked my entrepreneurship itch off because I thought it was really fun to build something I cared about. And in addition to that, it's almost like raising your own baby, really. So built that out, and the bug kind of bit me right there. And then from there, I started an esports startup. We were sort of linked for gamers. That went through a lot of ups and downs. Eventually got acquired. And throughout this time period as well, I want to say around sixth grade, I started actually diving into the whole crypto world. So started off trading with $200 I had in 8th grade or whatever. Sorry, not 6th grade, 8th grade.
Wow.
And then, first bull run came in 9th grade, 2020, right? And we're 2016. I'm getting my days wrong. First bull run came, had a lot of fun with it, lost a lot of things. That kind of shifted me all the way over to options. And I've always had a bit of a tech background. And this is where my finance side of things came in. And over time, I started self-educating. I learned how to actually, the technical side of blockchain, not just the finance side of things. So kind of merged those two interests, finance and tech, together. And really just, now here I am. I've just been doing blockchain for about 4 or 5 years now and just building cool stuff. I think my favorite part about this entire space is the fact that there's so many freaking incredible people out here that are building really cool stuff. So I think for me, that's kind of what it is. I had an entrepreneurship bug bite me in the very beginning, and then the community is why I stayed and kind of iterated upon that because I already had predisposed interests.
And with humanity moving forward and the technology that is being developed right now, how do you see it in the future helping?
I think right now there's a lot of vaporware. There's a lot of people building things that are just cash grabs, money pots. I think the future for the entire Web3 space rests in a sort of interdisciplinary nature where we have the Web2 stack, the Web3 stack working together, kind of negating, both stacks' cons, because decentralization and centralization both have cons, and kind of leveraging both their pros to create this sort of like hybrid stack. So that's kind of where I see it in the future. I see a hybrid stack of Web 2 and Web 3 being utilized to, pretty much accelerate kind of development and growth and just products in general.
And the skills that you've learned as a student and, as a person dealing with the field, what do you think you are going to offer, and what do you want to provide moving forward?
So I think for me, if we're talking about offering stuff to other people, I just value in a product. If you find, a product enjoyable to use, I want to build something that is fun to use, provides a sense of community, and ultimately, just like a product just has to be good. That's an interesting question because I think for me specifically, I need to make sure that our product is fun to use and has inherent value to people. So building cool things that provide value to people.
And if you could give any word to maybe students learning for the future, what would you say?
I think Web3 is one of those spaces where there is so much opportunity to actually gain experience and get it to the forefront of things, because it is still, in my opinion, emerging technology, especially if you look at kind of the underlying tech stack still. So I think Web3 is you can do everything kind of from a self-sustaining standpoint. Like go, collaborate, work with DAOs, go write up proposals, go just online. There's so much online. There's such a strong community that I think the entry to Web3, in my opinion, is a lot easier than Web 2 and provides you a lot more long-term if you know where to look.
Is there anybody that you would recommend maybe, or someone that you would want to promote right now?
Yeah, I think your university's blockchain organization, if we're talking about students specifically, is huge. And if you don't have, a university-specific blockchain organization, look at other DAOs like College DAO. They're a huge network of university organizations that kind of come together, and we do things from everything like doing. We'll work directly with protocols, so you can get experience there. We do governance, so that's something you're interested in, and you'll learn a lot from that. So College DAO, I would say, would probably be your best bet, second to your own university's direct organization.
Is there anything personally you're working on that you want to promote, or any blogs or anything?
Aside from Inertia, nothing. Pretty much just heads down, building out Inertia. As a startup, speed is key, so trying to make sure we can get our MVP out as soon as possible and push to the public.
So moving forward, how do you look at the technology and where we're going to go with it? Where do you want to see it go?
Personally, I want to see it go in a way where the maximal amount of value towards end users can be pushed out. I think a lot of Web2 companies, especially with our data privacy stuff right now, can be very predatory. And I think data privacy and security is huge. I think the ability to kind of own whatever you have is also really big. So I think self-ownership and privacy is where I see kind of Web3 really upscaling a traditional web stack today.
That's great. And cryptocurrency, if you don't mind me asking, how do you see it helping humanity in the future?
Good question.
Coming from like your age.
Yeah, so I think, let's be real, there's a ton of scams in crypto. It's rampant, and I think a lot of people they're not wrong for having red flags when they hear Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto, whatever in general. Most regular people, quote unquote, who aren't really in the industry, if you talk about crypto, oh, it's a scam, right? Rightfully so. I'm not going to say anything against that because there have been a lot of malicious actors in the space. But I do think this new sort of asset class is enabling a few things. One, for a specific example, if you're building something you want to fundraise, it makes it a lot easier to kind of accrue liquidity without having to go through all the legal motions and stuff like that. It enables people in other kind of countries as well to kind of send these cross-border payments, which is very, obvious, use case. But I think the biggest thing is it provides autonomy, self-governance over what it is that you own, and it really just enables you to kind of be your own bank and manage your own money and just have self-sustainability in a sense.
I can't thank you enough for your time, and I really look forward for you helping with this technology and moving forward and helping humanity, because you're a part of it.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.